Welcome to this week's meeting of the Rockland Board of Selectmen, coming to you live on WRPS from the H. Bernard Monahan Memorial Room at Rockland Town Hall. On the agenda this week, we've got a Rockland's Best presentation, a common vic license, and a highway update. Now here's the Chairman of the Board of Selectmen, Mr. Larry Ryan.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Selectmen's meeting for Tuesday, October 2nd, 2018. Please have a stand and we'll have a pledge of allegiance. Not seeing the veterans agents. Michael? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence for Freddie Clark, who passed away, and Richard Walls, who had 30 years on the schools. They'll both be missed. Thank you. First order of business on the community announcements. We have a Rockland's Best presentation tonight to Father James Hickey. Come on up, Father, please.
Good evening. So I'll make this quick because tonight it's not about me, and I don't think any night is. But I'm really humbled to be here tonight. A few weeks ago, because I am the faithful church-going Sundays that I am or am not, I found out after the fact about our Father Hickey's 50th year anniversary, as an ordination, as a priest in the Roman Catholic Church, and in seeing the messages online and hearing the thoughts of people around our town, I got to thinking about what I think of Father Hickey, but I'll save that for another day. But I'm just kidding. But no. But in all seriousness, I got to thinking about, what Father Hickey really means to Rockland, and how for my entire life, the pastor at Holy Family that I've known has been Father Jim Hickey. And when I think about our town and the fabric that our town has, Father Hickey is frankly a huge part of that fabric. In what you do for Holy Family, in the people of the parish, Father, what you do for our town, whether they're Catholic or whether they're another denomination, you counsel them, you provide them hope and with faith, and everything you do quietly behind the scenes. You're there for, you're there for our fire department. You're there for community events. You are really, in my mind, a picture of what our community is all about, frankly. And I got to thinking about Rockland's Best, and I reached out to you, and you frankly said, that you weren't interested. But I really think that just really epitomizes who you are. You're the heart of Rockland, and what you do for all people in this town, in your quiet, very unassuming ways, really speaks to. No, I really meant that with all. I really meant sincerity in that one. But and it speaks really insincerely to what you're all about. So, and you've been here for, I think over 30 years. 30
No, 28.
Years. 28. 128. Okay. So, just, recognizing all that I've just mentioned, we talked as, a board at our last meeting, and tonight, we, as a Board of Selectmen in the town of Rockland, proudly recognize the Reverend James F. Hickey, as one of Rockland's best. The Rockland Board of Selectmen offers to you its most sincere congratulations on the occasion of celebrating your 50th anniversary of ordination as a priest of the Roman Catholic Church. Our entire community extends its heartfelt gratitude and appreciation for your tremendous dedication to Holy Family Parish, and for all that you do for the residents of Rockland. And it's given tonight, October 2nd, 2018, by Larry Ryan, the chairman, Michael O'Laughlin, the vice chairman, and by myself, Michael Mullen Jr. And Father Hickey, I'm just very honored to present this to you, on behalf of our entire board, and to thank you for everything that you continue to do for Rockland. So, thank you.
So I rode around town tonight saying, what is this about, right? I told a story recently, and it might help. Seems to me that you do what you're supposed to do. My father died when I was a little kid, and my mother did a great job, people thought, and they were right, about raising me and my brother, who was Down syndrome. So at a certain point, Danny was affected by the chance to be in a group home and work in a community residence and be in a sheltered workshop with Work Inc. in Quincy. And I got ordained. And one day, somebody was saying to my mother how great a job she had done. Of course, she did a great job with Dan. And so she might have some doubt about with me. At any rate, the lady went on too long. And she looked at her and she said to her, what was I supposed to do, eat them? In one of the prayers at Mass, the word that's used every single time, which is easily overlooked, I think universally overlooked, is the word duty. In the midst of what we think is the most sacred thing we do, the priest says, it is right and just, it is our duty and our salvation. So thank you for the honor. I meant it when I said to Michael, what are you, crazy? This is nuts. I don't do anything more than anybody else does. And I certainly am not a quiet person in the background, all right? But I do think there's an issue here that's important. And that is that as we both, we who work as representatives of the people, and we who try to serve the people for God, as we watch the culture we are in, there are many things that disturb us. And so one of the things that might be important to say is not what I bring to Rockland, or even what Rockland brings to me. It might be important to say clearly and publicly that the issue this republic needs to look at is God and morality. And you might hear a good talk about it next Sunday. I think there's an issue here that's really significant. We're losing our way. And people say to me, well, Jim, you did this great job. And frankly, I say, then why are so few of us worshiping God? And everybody says, well, I do it on my own. And that's the problem. This town works because we don't do it on our own, because people contribute. That's how sports run. That's how kids are looked out for. That's how the school system goes. That's what you're all about. We're a republic that serves as a democracy. We look out for each other. So I put the thing out there that we need to put God in our lives, and we need to continue to pull together and to live good lives. And if you think this is a little overbearing, well, they pay me to talk about this, all right? So since we're talking about God, might be a good point to just stop and ask him to bless us. The lovely thing about Rockland is, this is right from my heart to yours. Nobody ever says to me, hey, Hickey, at the Memorial Day prayers during the procession, the parade, you can't bless yourself. You can't pray in the name of Jesus. Maybe other places say that, but Rockland doesn't. Rockland's pretty down to earth. Rockland does believe in God. So in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, dear God, our Father, thank you that you put into our hearts this gift called duty. We see it so powerfully represented by the military. and how often we have honored them, those who have died serving our country during the time I've been here. We see it too in all the safety people, the fire, the police, the EMTs, the folks working in hospitals, the people who are looking out for folks that are addicted and alcoholic. The whole issue, Lord God, of so many of our people dying from overdose. The crisis in family life, of how hard it is for people to hold together in family, how many sources there are to pull it apart. We really turn to you and we ask you in your great love to bless us. Give us a gift of being able to be prayerful and honorable. Help us to do what you command us to do. Help us to live as people should live. Thank you for your call that we should be people who are filled with peace for one another. Thank you for Rockland, Lord. Thank you for the peace and the beauty that comes from the hearts of so many people. Help us to live up to what you've made us to be. Help us to do our duty by you. We ask you in Jesus' name because he reigns with you in the power of the Spirit, one God, forever and ever. Amen. And if you pardon me being really Catholic, O Mary, conceived without sin, pray for us who have recourse to thee. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, thank you very much. You're good to me. God bless you. Listen, enough accolades, all right? God bless all. Take care.
All right, Father, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. All right, where are we? Candidates Night, October 25th, 6:30 at the Rockland High School Lecture Hall. They're at 6:30 p.m. There's a nonpartisan event sponsored by the Rockland Democratic and Republican Town Committees. There will be a panel discussion. Each candidate will have the opportunity to introduce themselves, answer questions submitted by the audience, and make a closing statement. The proceedings will be video recorded to be broadcast on WRPS. And please contact me to confirm your attendance, and that's signed Jack Ward. So that'll be Thursday, October 25th at 6:30 at the Rockland High School. All right, there's a 7:15, I guess it is. Oh.
Clerk Shortle would like to just come up and make a quick community
Yes, I'm
announcement
sorry,
if
I
it
got it
pleases the
written right
board.
here, and it's, I just went by it.
That's okay. Thank you.
That's okay.
As of 5 o'clock today, we officially have a set ballot for the town's special town election. I wanted to let people know that the absentee ballots for the state election are available at this time. However, the ballots for the special town election aren't available yet because we had to wait until today to let anyone who wanted to withdraw their name from the ballot. So it's just gone out to the printer now. I'm thinking 7 to 10 days that should be in. There will be early voting hours available, like in the presidential. The hours will be published on the cable, the website, and in the paper. Did you want to hear who's running? Okay, for the Board of Selectmen for the 1 year, 5 month. This is also on the website for anyone who wants to see it. Karen Nyman of 405 West Water Street. James F. Simpson of 22 Heritage Drive. Jared L. Valenzola of 112 Webster Street. And then for the other seat, the 5-month seat, we have Brian Leo Kane of 2 Ash Street and Richard E. Penny of 30 Center Ave. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We have a 7:15 public hearing on a liquor license transfer of the beer and wine to RFS Store 123 Incorporated, 474 Market Street. Entertain a motion to open the hearing.
I'll make a motion to open the hearing. Second that motion.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Mr. Mullen?
Yes.
Mr. O'Laughlin?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Come on up. No, come on up to the podium. Introduce yourselves and let the people know that you're here to visit Rockland and be part of it.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. My name is Kevin Riley. I'm an attorney based in Randolph. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, RFS Store 123. With me this evening, Mr. Bosnab Khan, who is the owner of the enterprise, and Mr. Abu Khan, who would be the proposed manager under this particular license. I would tell you that this is a request for the transfer of the license that has been held by 7-Eleven for the now closed convenience store at 474 Market Street. Mr. Khan owns and operates a growing number of convenience stores under the Richdale Food Shop brands, and as the number of stores have grown, he has incorporated into some of those outlets the sale of beer and wine products, and he would like to do the same at this outlet, which he would be purchasing from 7-Eleven. He's very familiar as a store owner with the retail sale of beer and wine products. Abu Khan also experienced as he has been a manager for Tedeschi and most recently for 7-Eleven as well, and has handled stores with beer and wine sales going on in them. The plan is to reopen the Market Street location as soon as the purchase from 7-Eleven can be completed. And obviously that is contingent upon the board's approval of the transfer of this license this evening. Applicant would request the maximum hours possible under the license, but certainly not less than what we have or what 7-Eleven has under the license that is currently in effect. I know that Mr. Khan has a couple of things he might like to say to the board.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I would like to thank you for the opportunity for us to see us tonight. I kind of wanted to personally be here today, just to introduce myself and my company. So I'm the CEO and the director of the company at this point, which is one of the premier and leading chain right now in Massachusetts. The reason we've been doing very well, because we actually follow the Tedeschi model. Tedeschi model was a very successful model that worked for Tedeschi and the convenience store industry in the New England community. Because of the acquisitions, that model was shifted a little bit. So we're bringing back that model. So with the approval of the board, when we do take over this location, we plan to bring back that model. We're very much neighborhood oriented, although we're a small chain. We're neighborhood oriented. We have multiple locations in Randolph. We're very involved in the community of Randolph, and we would like also to be involved in the community of Rockland. So here I am. If the board has any questions for me, I would love to answer it.
I just have one. What hours were you envisioning? And I just asked that because I actually believe the hours of the 7-Eleven when it closed was 24 hour?
So the Tedeschi hour was
okay.
6 a.m. to midnight.
Okay.
And our hours will be 6 a.m. to midnight if the
Okay,
if
I'm
the
sorry,
board
I
allows
got
that.
confused.
Liquor
Okay.
shuts off- Beer and wine shuts off at 11, right?
Yes, beer one would shut off 11, and we
Wouldn't,
would just
be
pack.
before
okay.
8 a.m.
Yeah.
And the only other, you have a question? Everybody that's going to be serving alcohol is going to be tip certified?
I was going to come out. Let me introduce Mr. Abu here, who's going to be the manager of the location. He has experience working for Tedeschi's. Him and I worked in Tedeschi's together for a little bit, and I think I have an excellent manager who's going to be managing this location. He is tip certified and experienced. I will let him. You can ask him any questions if you want.
No, I just want to make sure that anybody serving alcohol is tip certified. And the only other thing is all the tax papers came in? Did we get, Marcy?
We have one insurance form currently in hand. We're waiting for additional insurance forms, and there they are.
There you go. Asking you shall receive.
Kindly.
What would be the, okay. Thank you very much, guys.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Motion to close the meeting?
Does
Hearing?
anyone from the public have any?
Oh, anybody in the public want a question? Hearing none?
I'll make a motion to close the hearing.
You got a motion and a second to close the meeting, Mr. Mullen?
Yes. Aye.
Mr. O'Laughlin? Yes. And myself, yes. Thank you, guys. And I'll anybody want to make a motion?
Oh, sorry, I'll make a motion to approve the liquor license transfer for beer and wine for the RFS Store 123 Incorporated, located at 474 Market Street.
Second that motion.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
That's a vote. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you. Welcome to
Welcome
town.
to Rockland. All right. On the minutes, I have minutes of an open session on September 18th, 2018.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, I got a minutes of an executive session on September 18th, 2018.
I'll make a motion to approve not to release until all matters are settled. Got that right.
Okay, yep, I got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
There you go. That's good. Now, let's see. All right, number 4 is a common vittler's license for Vivi's Kitchen LLC at 200 VFW Drive. Come on up, young lady. Tell everyone who you are.
My name is Evie Karasmatis, and I'm opening up a takeout restaurant, hopefully the beginning of November. It's a built-out space. The food is going to be Mediterranean-style wraps, salads, Mediterranean rice bowls, some homemade burgers, soups. I have menus with me, and located at 200 VFW Drive.
Questions of the board? Yeah, just, what was your interest in coming to Rockland in the first place?
I don't actually have any background in Rockland. I live in Hanover, 10 minutes away. I love the location. It's a brand new building, sharing with Sam's Convenience Store, who's like right next door. And I love the location. There's a lot of businesses around there. Yeah, location.
There you go.
I don't have anything to add other than good luck, and I look forward to trying your buffalo chicken salad. That looks good.
The hours, by the way, are going to be Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7
Perfect.
p.m. Closed on weekends.
Motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second that motion.
Got a motion and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
That's a vote.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome to Rockland. All right, next, number 5 is appointment of a public records officer. Attorney Chris Kenny has applied for that. And it's basically just to answer any public records that since we've been bombarded lately with an abnormal amount of requests. I guess this will help protect us.
That makes sense to me. I make a motion to approve Attorney Chris Kenny as a public records officer for the town of Rockland.
I'll second that motion for Attorney Chris Kenny to deal with all the public records concerns.
Okay, I get a motion and a second. All in favor? That's unanimous vote. Welcome on there, Attorney Chris. All right, now, special municipal employees, Jean Blaney, Youth Department. She's here? No? Oh, yeah, come on up.
Here, so we have Kathleen here with us this evening to speak about this if you'd like, but it's a continuation from our last meeting where you had asked for clarification about
Right.
appointing youth commission employees to be special municipal employees, and we determined that the appointment goes with the position, not the person. So you have a letter to appoint the one position that Jean has requested to be special municipal employees.
And we had our legal counsel check it out, and
Yes.
everything is copacetic. There's nobody going to make
Clifford is
any money
here.
on this deal.
I could give you 2 hours on special municipal employee if you want, but I think it's easier if you just vote it.
There you go, works for me.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, Attorney Clifford.
There you go.
I'll make a motion to accept this position as special municipal employee.
I'll second that.
Okay, get a motion and a second. All in favor? That's a vote, unanimous vote. There you go, now. All right, number 7, highway update and road signage request. Dave Taylor with Chris Loud.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. The more the merrier.
Sure. Thank you very much for all your help. Good evening. I'm Chris Loud from Jumbo Capital. I represent the ownership of the building as well as Hingham Street Trust. They are the owners. I'm with the management group. I'm here to request the board's approval tonight to paint a portion of the roadway in front of our building. This is for you as well. In front of the main entrance for 1099 Hingham Street with a "Do Not Block" message. Pointing just here appropriately. I hope your packages...
We have it.
Good. For those unfamiliar with the property, it's a 3-story, 55,000 square foot multi-tenanted office building with 1050 Hingham Street directly across from us. At peak commute times, Hingham Street is a high-traffic area. As owner and property manager, we have received numerous complaints from tenants who have grown frustrated with difficulty of both entering and exiting the property during commute times. The "Do Not Block" message will allow an easier merge of traffic leaving the building, going left towards Rockland Center, and will eliminate the stop traffic creating when trying to enter the parking lot. South suburban office market is one of the most competitive in the greater Boston area, offering many alternatives with each space having a wide variety of amenities. Allowing the "Do Not Block" message to be painted on the roadway will make 1099 Hingham Street a more appealing location to current and prospective tenants. I'd like to note the state representative, DPW Commissioner Dave Taylor, and the owners of 1050 Hingham Street are in favor of painting our message on the roadway. There's letters of support, photos. Thank you for your consideration and your time. And thank you, Marcia, for all your help and efforts in this endeavor as well as...
How would you market it? I mean,
Well, just to give a little clarification on this, Chris reached out to us, I think it's a little over a year ago. Representative DeCoste has been assisting with him. We looked at it in a couple different areas. We first had to get the sign off from Mass DOT. It's very close to their layout. So they just literally signed off, what was it, a couple months ago, I believe?
Correct.
Couple months ago.
in your package.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Mass DOT, I think, Kristen closed the letter. So typically this box is used for like emergency vehicles or police stations. We're not against it. I mean, we're in agreement that I went to the police, we asked the police on this matter. It's not gonna be enforced. Chris knows that, the owner knows it. It's no, there's no economic liability to the town. We're not painting it out. You know, the maintenance will be done by them.
Correct.
So that box is, you know, all they needed for us was the sign off to try it. So, you know, it's more or less what they would call a courtesy box. So it's just gonna say, please don't block the entranceway. He might put a sign there, please don't, but it will not be enforced by the police. So there's no violations if somebody parked in it. But again, it's more or less a courtesy, you know, because if you've seen that area, cars are rolling off the highway there. They come off, they try to get into that entrances, people are blocking it. If anybody knows that area, it's probably about 50 to 75 yards away from the intersection where Home Depot is. So it's a tough intersection, and a safety standpoint, with people coming off the other way and turning in, you know, heading towards that way, heading towards the hotel district, coming off the highway. You know, we think it might alleviate a little bit of problems of having 2 or 3 cars waiting to take a left-hand turn in there. So, I mean, we're in support of it, you know, as long as there's, like I said, he knows there's no enforcement to it, there's no economic liability on the town, and, you know, we're okay with it. The police kind of signed off on it, as long as they don't have to enforce it, so.
Can't stick a car up in the parking lot and wheel a few lights at the right time of day? I mean, you don't have to say, you know, I wouldn't tell people that it's not enforceable, because then they might laugh at you.
Well, you can't tell them it is enforceable.
Yeah, I
If they
suppose.
go to the police and say, it is.
No, it's a good idea. I think it's
Yeah.
great, because you need to get in and out of there.
Thank
It's
you, sir.
No, very tough, and
Thank you.
we were full support of that.
Thank you very much, sir.
Full support, so.
Yeah,
Whatever we can do to help you out, let us know.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think we made it a point of the board to try to support our business in
Absolutely.
whatever capacity we can.
Yeah.
And this doesn't feel like it's any detriment to us, and in fact, I think it might prevent accidents for us.
Okay, I just have one question, Dave, like on that. I know, like in the event that there is an accident there, by having like it marked that way, could it cause the town to be liable for any ways?
That's another case. I mean, that might be something you might want to table and reach out to our town attorney and just see if there is any.
That's my only question. If we do that, and if this board allows it on a town road, and then there is an accident there, like, do we, could there be an argument created, that the town, somehow contributed this to an accident by the design?
I don't really see any theory of liability where the town could be held
Okay.
liable.
Okay.
That's not to say
That there can be a
my brothers
claim.
and sisters in the bar wouldn't name us at any
Yep.
point.
Yep.
But really, I mean, I think the standard rules of liability on the roadways are pretty well established.
Okay.
So if someone was blocking the road and someone pulled out in front of them, you know, I think the rules are in place to determine who's at fault. Again,
Okay.
we can never say that no one would ever bring
Yeah.
a case, but I don't really see any
Okay.
Liability.
There's not gonna be a stop bar there, there's not gonna be a stop sign there.
Okay.
So it's literally a courtesy box,
Okay.
more or less, which common courtesy, you let somebody have the right of way turn it in, so.
That said, I'll make a motion that we approve the do not block request.
I'll second.
All in favor? That's unanimous vote.
Thank you, gentlemen.
That's our
Thank you for
pleasure.
your help.
Thank you, and thank you, Reverend.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Glad to have
And
you
I
here.
will say it was a pleasure dealing, as always, with Marcy and Dave Taylor and all the people on the Rockland Municipal team. And for you three gentlemen, I left you some paperwork having to do with a tax item we spoke about
Yeah.
last week. Thank you.
Thanks.
Excellent. All right, where am I? All right. Oh, yeah, all right, he's going to give the update. I'm sorry.
You're gonna actually, you probably wanna
Well,
do that in the.
we could, we bypassed
But I
it.
just don't think that-
Reach out,
Went to the
yeah,
second
reach
one.
out and maybe we'll come up with a design, something.
I have just a couple of ideas, that's all.
Okay, absolutely. Thanks, so.
Thank you again, gentlemen.
You're welcome, thank you.
So we were just gonna do a little wrap-up, I know we did that last year. We're close to just finishing up our last section of the road project. Just wanted to give a quick update, and if there was any Q&As. We just finished microsurfacing the 24 roads we had this year. That would include, on the road project, that would be the Millbrook project. So there was 12 roads up there. We updated all the drainage up there, which was extensive, a little bit more than we thought, like I said at the last meeting. We brought everything down into a mill and pave, and then we did the microsurfacing. Then we also went over to the Central Street area. We did the Central Street area, which was full reclamation, full reconstruction. We reset 2/3 of the curbing that was over there, 5-inch curbing. Did the sidewalks over, and did extensive amount of drainage over there as well. We did the Thayer Terrace, which we ran under the Chapter 90 where it made sense, where we were over it. In the Central Street area, we did the Thayer Terrace because it was off of that. And we used Carly's Way as our first just microsurfacing, patching, crack filling, microsurfacing, where it was our first candidate where we've ever done that. So it was a low amount of money, cost $5,000 to do the road. We were over there. We didn't want to have to go back over there, so if we get 7 years out of that road for $5,000, it's less than $1,000 a year. So we're going to give it a try and see how that works out. We also went over to Lewis Park, which was also a Chapter 90. That was in rough shape if anybody's been down there, so we did that area. And then we went over to Condon Circle, which was on the road project, which was brought forth from the last road project into this one. And then we went over to Linwood and Shaw, which wasn't in really bad shape. We did the cul-de-sac down in the very end, which was a full reclamation. We did the drainage over on that street, which was only a couple catch basins, and then we did the microsurfacing on those roads. So that was 24 roads, and then not including some of the sidewalks that we did. We did the sidewalks, we updated the sidewalks and the curbing on Old Market Street, which I know we touched base on before. That was a problem area for children coming out. Mike's from that neighborhood, so that was a problem area with the way it was humped up with the sidewalks. A couple years ago when I first got the job, it was winter, and I saw 2 children sliding off that sidewalk, and I go, that's a sidewalk we have to fix pretty quick. So there's a lot of young families in there. So we updated those sidewalks. That was short money. That was also under Chapter 90. So we're on the lower end of Union Street. I know I touched base on that at the last meeting. So we're on the lower end of Union Street. We updated the sidewalks on the other side. We used the curbing that came from the lower end that was pulled. We used it for to do the the topography where it exchanged off. Some areas were 12 inches to 16 inches off. So what we did is we pushed the curb into the inside, and we made the grade changes on the backside, which is what we had to do. So you see some of the houses, we added a step or two there. So that was done mostly in-house, so we saved a tremendous amount of money because all those materials is everything that we had. So I think the only thing we had to buy there, I think, even touching base with Marcy, I think we bought 4 granite steps for that whole project. And so considerably came out of that. You know, it probably a tenth of what it would have cost if we sent that out to a private contractor. So we're pretty proud of that project as well. We made our way up to the West Water, East Water exchange, and if anybody's noticed, we gained 10 parking spaces up there. We kind of reached out to the businesses there, told them what we were doing. We pushed in, if everybody remembers, the curb format went out about 25 feet there. So we pushed the curb format in there, tightened up the sidewalks over to 7 feet, and we gained the spaces over there, which is, I don't remember where, but I guess from the historians, they said that's the way it was back in 79, 80, so I can honestly say I don't remember that, so I feel pretty good about that.
I think it was a little later, but I remember the bowling alley used to have.
Yeah, I remember when it was the bowling alley there.
And then all of a sudden there's a sidewalk there.
In those days, if people in the government had personal vendetta against you, they would come up with all sorts of things, zoning tricks and all things, you know, to move people around like that.
That's actually why there's.
That's why it was like that.
Yeah, so we gained some spaces there, so we're happy about that, because I know we're short on parking spaces through town, so to get those, and yeah, literally the karate studio owner and the gentleman that owns the Chinese food restaurant came out and gave me a hug, like when we were putting the spaces, and I was like, all right, there's a plus side to it, you know, so. So we're planning on, we're over on the Vernon Street area right now. We're using the leftover used curb there to go down to where we used whatever we have left over that we pulled off over the last 2 years to finish that road up. That was the leftover road project money, and we're going to go down to the intersection of Howard and Vernon, and Crescent Vernon, and then we're going to do a little section in front of Crescent Street, in front of James Street, which is right in front of the Jefferson School area. So for the drop-off area, just about 100 feet there. So, and the reason why we're doing this is Waters, you know, cut us a check to redo those roads over. So we could tighten up all that beforehand, and then we're kind of done with that for like 20 years. You know, we'll get some ADA ramps in there under some grants that we have, and we'll tighten up the curbing, and we'll get those 2 intersections, they're problem intersections, and then we're planning on going over to the Liberty Street area. And we're going to go from the Mary Lou's intersection up to a little bit beyond Pleasant Street. And then what we did was we had an engineer come out, and Waters actually cutting us a check for that area. So if you notice what we're posting on our website, you see we try to give everybody where the funds are coming from, whether it's Chapter 90, roads project, you know, water funds. So Water's been good enough to work out with us. They'll pay for that road. We're going to grind the trenches out, level off the trenches, and then we're going to do an overlay there. Originally, we were thinking about we were going to do the Mary Lou's intersection, but you know, having preliminary engineering on that, it's going to be a lot more than what we're ready to take on for this year. You know, we have to do the lights over there, one of the oldest set of lights. The loops have to be adjusted. The ADAs, we have to get the format all done. So it's going to be a little tough to try to squeeze that in. So we're on a tight schedule. Obviously, we're in October now. You know, a lot of people are wrapping up in October. We did last year, but we want to try to wrap all this up. Our water commissioner is heading out on retirement next year, so we kind of want to wrap up everything and start fresh next year. We've got quite a bit on the plate for next year as well. So that's pretty much the wrap up. That's where we're going to be. I didn't know if anybody had any questions on anything that we've been doing, or.
Quite frankly, everything I've watched you do, and I've walked by Union Street quite a number of times while you guys are working on the project, and it looks great. Everything is, you know, when the street's done over, it's going to be really nice looking, you know. Yeah. You've done a great job with the town, you know, doing the streets and all that stuff too. Yeah. The curb work is excellent. I thought, you know, the little steps going up to like Khan's house and a few others were, you know, along the way they look very nice. I mean, the whole thing looks very well done, so we can be very proud of the work you guys have done. Thank you.
I'm going to give a shout out to our crew, our department too, because, I mean,
oh yeah, no, we're
since
giving
I
them.
literally got on, we're throwing a lot of new things at them.
Yeah.
You know, that they're not regularly doing. You know, all of a sudden, we're putting up walls, you know, or,
There you go.
you know, they've, you know, it starts up, you know, from them all the way up. You know, if the crew doesn't buy into it, I mean, I've got a great assistant up there, so she kind of pretties up all the paperwork. I can do the technical stuff, but
There you go.
I'm more or less out the door, and Sue handles that. And then, like I said, we have a great crew in-house right now. So, you know, I'm proud of everything that we've done, you know, so.
Everything extra they do, tell them it just adds to the resume.
Yeah. The resume. We want to keep everybody that we have right now, so. Any other questions on anything, or?
No, we think you're doing a great job.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
All right. Town administrators report and correspondence. Am I missing? Oh, interim accountant, year-end update, I'm sorry. I can't count to 8.
The exciting world of accounting. So I'm Eric Kinshirf, the interim town accountant. We've met. So Marcy wanted me to give an update what's going on in the office. So basically, just want to thank you for hiring me. I started on June 27th. Everybody's been great to work with. I've met like most of the department heads. I've attended a couple finance committee meetings, and I just want to mention like the accounting staff that we have over there now. When I first started, the town accountant's position was vacant, the assistant town accountant's position was vacant, and there was just the accounting clerk over there, Serena Amaral. And she really stepped up during that transition period. She's now the assistant town accountant. She has a nice background. She's graduated from Bridgewater State College with an accounting degree. So she's been really valuable over there. And it was funny, it was Dave, I was kind of watching you. I saw my emails, and you got to actually email from Serena. She was asking us for some of that prettied up paperwork, so that was good. And then also we have another new person over there, Megan Fontaine. She's an accounting clerk. She's doing a great job over there also. She's a Westfield State graduate. So I just wanted to let you know that you have a good, solid staff over there. Now, as far as like closing the books go, I'm working with like John Ellard. My goal is to have all the books closed and everything by the end of November. You'd notice in your packet, this is kind of like the checklist of everything that I go through before I officially close the books and set it into the DOR balance sheet. So we've done work in like 85 communities and I've been working in the municipalities for like 24 years. So I've created this checklist over time. As I make mistakes, I add another thing to check. So this is like a pretty thorough process. And I think last year you guys closed the books in March or something. So I felt good about that. So we'll beat that record, and you guys will be all set for your town meeting. The other thing that I wanted to mention, besides giving you an update on the year end, is on the town budget. Rockland's unique in a little way that the town accountant has a kind of a good big role in formulating the budget. So Marcy and I have had some preliminary discussions on the budget, and I also attached in your packet a preliminary budget timeline. So we're really probably going to get this stuff kicked off this month. We'll work together with that. So with all that said, thank you, and I just wanted to give you an update. So that's it, if you have any questions.
Any questions, gentlemen?
I just want to thank you for your work, Eric. This is great. The update is great, and I love that you and Marcy are already working to plan for FY20, and it's that's right around the corner. So thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right, number 9, town administrators report and correspondence.
Now
Ms. Birmingham.
Yes, sir. Now we have town administrators report. First of all, we have one item that's not written on the agenda, which we received from Chief Duffy today. It should be the first item in your town administrators tab. The fire department is asking that you would approve the street closure for their annual open house I believe that they're asking to have Pacific Street closed from Union to the rear entrance of Teresa's Hair Salon from 9:30 to 2:30, and this is something that they've done in the past.
Is there any representatives from the fire department here?
I'm not
I'm only
answering
kidding,
that
that's my
question
wife
for you,
here.
Mr. Chairman. So,
All in favor? Congratulations. There you go.
police department is aware of all of that. If Mary has probably already done that for us.
There you go.
The second thing is really just a reminder for residents that the town hall is open again, extended hours, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. First and third Tuesday of the month, we're open until 8 o'clock at night, so we encourage residents to come in and do their town business when we're here extended evenings from September through the end of June. And then the final announcement I have is simply that we realized in talking with the town clerk recently that your November 6th board meeting is on the same day as the general election. So we wanted to announce to the public and make sure that everyone is aware that we have moved the Board of Selectmen's November 6th meeting to November 8th. And the town hall extended hours will be on the same evening, Thursday, November 8th. So that's all I have for you. Thank you.
Okay, Selectmen's comments. Comments and opinions expressed by individual members do not necessarily reflect the views of the BOS and are the opinions and comments of only the individual member. Mr. Mullen.
I do not have anything tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. O'Laughlin.
Whoa, easy
Wow.
there. I could go off on Facebook.
Yeah, I know you could.
but I'm
I know you
keeping
could,
that-
but I'm just never thought I'd see it. I just want to. I want to thank Peter Foreman, Eric Dykeman from the South Shore Chamber of Commerce, Jeff Phelps from the Rockland Chamber of Commerce, and Marcy Birmingham and my colleague Mike Mullen for the walk that they put together this past Thursday. Mike, myself, and Larry had the privilege of walking around with 30 developers that were interested in bringing their business to downtown Rockland, and really we shared what our vision is for the downtown, and we left it in their hands. I'd say the walk was great. I must have gotten 30 business cards with people asking to follow up with us about bringing their business to Rockland or developing the downtown center for us along with us. So, Mike, you started Reimagine Rockland a couple years ago now, and it's great to see where it's at now, and your vision starting to become reality. So,
We got some work
good
to
job.
do. We need people to be involved, but it's getting there.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Laughlin.
That's it?
25 minutes.
There you go. I just want to say, give my condolences to the Bob Henry's family over there in Wyman Fields. Great family. Bob will be missed. Great man. I don't know, you've probably seen in the newspaper, Union Point is making waves again. There's a lot of negative issues financially and things going on. Our appointees over there are working on coming before us to give us an update of what's happening over there, and hopefully by the next meeting, they're going to be here to discuss what can be done to help solve the problems or to at least get things back moving again in the right direction. So I know that a lot of people are interested in what's going on over there, and we are too, and our people are putting together a package to discuss all the things that have been going on over there. I think pretty much that's it for me too. Kind of a quiet night tonight. We're going to go into executive session to discuss strategy regarding collective bargaining, to discuss strategy in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, to discuss litigation strategy, and executive session pursuant to General Law C-30A, Section 21A-7, to comply with or act under authority of any general or special law, specifically General Law C-30A, Section 22F and G, regarding review of executive session minutes. And we're going to reconvene.
I will make that motion. So moved.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Mullen? Mr. Mullen?
Yes, that's me.
Mr. O'Laughlin?
Yeah.
And myself, yes, just so we have a voice vote. We'll be back.
Mr. Chairman?
Welcome back, everybody. We've settled our differences with the former town accountant, and I'm going to ask Mr. Clifford if he would read the statement that we prepared for it.
Mr. Hart and the town have mutually agreed to end Mr. Hart's employment with the town. In conjunction with this separation, the town can confirm that Mr. Hart did not engage in any eavesdropping, evidence tampering, wiretapping, or any other form of unauthorized recording or listening, and his separation from the town is not related in any way to the investigation conducted by Discrimination and Harassment Solutions, LLC, and Ms. Regina Ryan. Mr. Hart would like to thank the boards, committees, department heads, staff, and most importantly, the citizens of Rockland for supporting him over his 14-year tenure with the town of Rockland.
So that would be it then, we're done?
I believe the board, we are going to start the process to select a new town accountant immediately. While Mr. Kinshirf has been here, Mr. Kinshirf in his interim capacity only works part-time. So the board, we're suggesting that the board choose a search committee and authorize the town administrator and Stacy Callahan to put out an ad as soon as possible so we can move forward with the process of filling that vacancy.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second to form a search committee for a new town accountant. All in favor? That's a vote.
And I think that's it.
Adjourn.
Motion to adjourn if there's nothing else.
Second.
I got a motion to adjourn in a second. Mr. Mullen? In favor?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And I am in favor also. Good night, everyone. Thank you.